Hi, Kitty Pies. It's Lanikia, and I'm coming to you with season 4, episode 10, Surprise of a Million Little Things. And we start this episode off with Cam being in bed with Maggie, and it is her birthday. So she is turning 30. And she is really she wants to just do something low key with him. She doesn't want to go out because he was like, let's go out, go to dinner, have a drink. I have reservations. And she's like, no, I don't want to do none of that. I just want to stay in because it's a big day for her. She didn't think she would make it to 30. So it's a big day for her. And so he's like, oh, no, okay, we can do whatever you want to do. He's brought her breakfast in bed. And she was like, I'm not really in the mood to eat. So she's going to get ready. And he calls her assistant Claudia and lets her know, hey, and we find out that they're throwing her a surprise party. Now, Claudia said, she'll love it. Come on, let's do it. And he's like, okay. So then we see Sophia and Eddie, and they're talking about the party, and he's debating on if he should bring Anna. Would it be weird for Sophia? And she was like, no, I don't care. I'll put y'all together. And then he says, like, what about Catherine? Should I tell her? And she's like, no, I don't think you have to tell her. I don't know. I thought maybe he should have just not tell her but because he's thinking like, what if I tell her and it's like, oh, I just want you to know I'm bringing somebody, and it makes it seem like, she's lonely or she still wants, you're like implying something. And I said, I don't know. I just thought a quick, hey, Maggie's party tonight. I'm actually bringing a date. Like not a big deal. But so they decide not to tell her. So then we see Regina in Rome, and he is okay. So Rome, of course, is dealing with depression. And so being sensitive to that, it's like, okay, he's dealing with depression, and you have to be sensitive to that. But a part of me was just like, I don't know if they're going to pick up that storyline with him and the other woman or not. So because I felt like for a minute there, he really did think about, cheating with Regina, and maybe it was the depression that he realized, oh my gosh, I'm depressed. But it felt like it went from him wanting to cheat on her to, okay, he's depressed again. And so he snaps at Regina because she was asking him about I'm sorry, I'm watching it as it's going on. But he snaps at Regina because she talks to him about the medication and everything. And I don't know. He apologizes and everything, but it's got to be hard. And maybe we should see her going to a support group, for, people who have to live with someone who goes through depression, because that's a lot on them too. And we see Gary, and he's talking to Kevin, and Kevin is the one who used to give Gary chemo. And he's saying, hey, I heard about you and Maggie. And Gary was like, no, I've already sabotaged another relationship since then. And one woman there, her name was Gail, actually has cancer, has come back again. But they just dropped him in there so we can get, I guess, a refresh to remember what how important this is for Maggie. Now, then we see Catherine and Greta. Now, they've escalated their relationship all the way. So Catherine is like, hey, I know this is all casual and stuff, but there is a party, and I was wondering if you want to come with me. And she was like, wait, no, that's not casual. Maybe, no, we said we're going to just be friends, take it slow. And so Greta is hesitant. So, that's why Catherine started backing off. But then Greta actually tells her, it's not that, I'm married. And so Catherine is just like, oh, what? I can't believe this, because you know what I've been through. You know how, Eddie cheated on me, throughout the marriage, and with one of our friends, and all that mess. And so she's just like, why would you do this to me? And she storms out, and she breaks down in the hallway of Greta's apartment. So then, okay, so they've talked Maggie into this photo shoot, right? So Claudia is telling Maggie, oh, we got to do a reshoot. They didn't like your promo posters. She was like, what? And so she brings Jane in and says Jane wants you to redo it. Who's Maggie's boss? And Jane comes in and she's like, what? And so Claudia's like trying to hand signal her. She's not catching on because Claudia's, it was a mess. But anyway, she said she's going to update you and everything. So she does end up telling her we have to redo the photo shoot and all that. And so it has to be done tonight. So they've already hired you hair and makeup and all that so we can get it done. And Maggie's just like, oh man. So then we see Regina is playing Bruno Mars for Rome, trying to pick him up because she tried to get him to taste something. And he was like, no, he's depressed. And so she starts playing Bruno Mars and, she finally gets him to smile and then dance around a little bit. And right when they're starting to get into it, Tyrell comes. And, so of course they're happy to see Tyrell. So Eddie and T talk, and T says, I know I'm not supposed to, I know something I'm not supposed to know. And I wanted to let you know that mom's actually, dating or whatever. And he was like, okay. And he just tells T that he and his mom, Catherine and Eddie, they're going to be friends, nothing. They're not going to get back together, but they're going to, be cordial and be friends. And they'll always love, and support T. You know what they say the key is whenever you break up as parents or whatever. So then what? So then we see, okay, so Eddie tells Gary that he wants to bring Anna to the photo shoot. Now, I mean, not photo shoot, but the party. Now, Gary is a little weary about this because he's like, I beat that woman. I was in on that woman husband being attacked. I don't think this is a good idea. And Eddie's like, I gotta suffer because of what you did and all that. So Gary's just like, all right, man, do what you want to do. And they have a little tiff, but then they make up or whatever. And Eddie's gonna bring her to the party. But Gary did warn him, I don't think this is a good idea. But Eddie's like, it's gonna be fine. So then we see, okay, going back to Regina Rome. So she's like, come on, guys, Tyrell and Rome, get dressed. Come on. And they are supposed to go to the party because now it's time for everybody to go to the party. And Rome comes out wearing a tracksuit, a jumper, or something like that. And she's like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm not feeling my best. I think I need to go for a run and then I'll meet you guys. And he starts looking for his headset. And he's like, where's my headset? Well, then Tyrell comes out looking all fly and sharp and everything. And he was like, oh, I borrowed your headset earlier because mine died from being on the plane. Rome goes off. Like he goes off on him. He's agitated, he's aggressive, and Tyrell has never seen this side of him. So he's like, what is going on here? And then Regina is trying to tell Rome, like, stop, what are you doing? And, he doesn't stop, and then he leaves. And Regina tries to comfort Tyrell, and he's like, I'm good. And he goes to his room. So she's having to deal with that. So then we see, Eddie and T talk. Okay, yeah, I've done that part. Okay, so then we see where Maggie is at the photo shoot, right? This mock photo shoot that they have done for her. And she's there getting everything ready, right? She's doing her photo shoot because some kind of way they've talked Nick into this. So Nick they're saying, oh, he's a photographer and he's doing your photo shoot. It's going to be great. And so they have the makeup and hair girl there, right? Now, Jane and Nick, used to work together or whatever they did. And so now she is geeked because he's flirting with the hair and makeup girl. So she's getting like, but I mean, what can she really do? Because they're not dating or anything. They're not together anymore. So there's nothing she can really do about him doing that. But anyways, so they wrap up the photo shoot and everything. And Claudia tries to get Maggie to go out for a drink, but Maggie is like, no, I'm just gonna go home or whatever. So Maggie is on her way home and Claudia texts someone. Now we think she's texting Cam, but she's not. She's texting Gary because we see Gary pull up as Maggie is walking home and he scoops her up and he was like, I'll take you home. And she was like, okay. But on the way, she's like, you just missed my turn. And he was like, it's your 30th birthday. I'm taking you for a drink and everything. Because you deserve that. And she's like, okay. And they have their inside little jokes and all that kind of stuff. I, I don't know, y'all. So then we see, so then we see that excuse me, Regina and Tyrell are on the way to the party as well. And he just asked Regina, how long has it been this bad? And she's like, a couple of weeks. And he's just shocked because he's never seen it like that. And he was like, you remember when I was talking crap about Rome, and he wasn't he felt like Rome wasn't in there to, about the movie that time, when, he felt like Rome could have been more active, and everything, the protest. And he was like, and you told me I didn't understand. He said, this is what you meant. And she was like, yes, because he didn't understand the dark places that Rome can go to. So then, okay, y'all. So then we see Gary and Maggie are back in the elevator, So they're going up to have a drink. And he told her it's rooftop. She believes him. And so she starts telling him about, after everything she's been through, she didn't want a party, and Cam was thinking about doing her a party, and she was like, no, I do not want a party. I just wanted it to be a quiet dinner with us. And she just explains how she feels, and she was like, I know you understand. So Gary stops the elevator. He was like, listen, girl, they got a party up here for you. I can't let you walk into this. And she was like, what? And he was like, yes, Cam planned it all. He got everything together, even hair, makeup, all of it. He got it together for you, and he just told her, go to your future. I know you don't want to go. I know you never thought this day would come, and you're a little, afraid and everything. But you look gorgeous. You look beautiful. Go walk into your future. And so she does. So, and he says, don't forget to smile. So when she gets off the elevator, everyone is there to say surprise, and she plays it off, and she's having a good time. She's mingling with Cam and his friends. Cam had a really nice video for her with, the people she loved, her mom, dad, the kids, everyone telling her they loved her and how important this 30th birthday was for her. And Cam does not know. And that's what Gary told her. He doesn't know Maggie. So that's why he planned this party, because he doesn't know what this birthday really means for you. But you can't let this stop you, and because he was just telling her, you can't let it stop you from living and everything. But Maggie was just, she ended up having a great time at her party and everything. Okay, so then we see that Rome talks to Regina, and then he goes and he apologizes to Regina, and she says, it's okay, I understand, but you really need to talk to Tyrell. So he does go and talk to Tyrell, and Tyrell is at first, he was like, but Rome just explains to him what's going on in the depression, and he didn't want Tyrell to look at him like he couldn't lean on him, like he couldn't come to him with it when things were bad for him, and Tyrell was like, okay, I understand that, but I need you to know that you can lean on me as well. Like this, it doesn't have to be me always just taking. I can give too. And so that was real cute and real sweet. And then we see Nick, the sports writer and all that, the sports announcer and all that, has brought Makeup Girl to the party. And Jane is just like, what? Yeah, she's jealous because Nick has brought this woman to the party, and I would like for them to add another storyline kind of going on instead of it, because of course, don't take away from the friends, but having one or two other storylines that intertwine wouldn't be too bad about with that. So okay, so then they're at the party also, and Anna is, she's mingling with everyone and she's talking, and Eddie is talking to Sophie, and Sophie's like, uh-oh. And Eddie is like, what? And he looks around. Catherine and Anna have actually bumped into each other, and they started talking. They don't know each other. And so Eddie rolls up to them, and he's like, hey, and then it dawns on them what's going on. And he lets Catherine know that Anna's his date, and Anna's like, "Oh, I just met your ex-wife," but Catherine, she seems upset, but that's not really like it. That's not really why she's upset. She's not upset because Eddie is with someone. She's upset because of Greta, and she ends up telling him that because Anna told him go talk to Catherine, and she tells him, "Hey, I was in a relationship, and it ended up being that they were married, and." I made me the other woman, and he said, our marriage, we knew for a long time, even though we were still in it, we were not in it. So it could be that for them. So just talk to him because he thinks it's a man. Just talk to him and let him know everything. And she's like, okay. Okay. She's like, okay, I hear you. Meanwhile, Gary bumps into Sophia, but she's still not wanting anything to do with him. And so then he accidentally bumps into no, Anna sees him and she's like, I know you. And so he's like, yeah, I was there when Sophia came and she talked to your husband when admissions. And he was like, no, she was like, no, you parked outside my house. Actually, you came back to my house. Obviously you came back. So she was letting him know, I know you attacked Peter. And he tells her, whatever you want, I'll do it, but just not here with Sophia and Maggie. And, he doesn't want to ruin Maggie's day and he doesn't want to cause any more harm to Sophia. And she tells him, listen, if you hadn't beat Peter up or did whatever you did, he would have never been in the hospital. She would have never been able to go through his phone. The podcast, all of that would have never happened. So she said he got exactly what he deserved. And she was like, I remember holding that clipboard and it was like 15 girls' names on there. And she was like, I'll never know if what he did to those 15 girls, was it all of them? Was it some of them? She'll never know. And that bothers her. So she's grateful to Gary because it opened up her eyes to the type of man Peter was. So Gary's like, okay, cool. Now she goes over to Eddie and she's like, listen, I know Gary, had something to do with Peter's attack. You didn't tell me. I just got out of a relationship where this man was doing horrible things that I did not know about. And then I get in this with you and I cannot do this again. So she walks away. She leaves him and he's trying to stop her and make her stay. And so he's calling her and everything. And while this is happening, Catherine has got a phone call from Greta, and Greta is just like telling her, me and my wife, we're estranged, and she's actually living in London, I believe, and she's been there for like 3 months. They don't live together. They're on a separation, but they know it's it's going to be permanent. And she really didn't think her and Catherine would have something serious. She thought it was a fling. Catherine's coming out of the divorce. She's coming out of a separation. She's in a separation. She thought it would just be a fling, and then they would go about their way. Excuse me. But it's turning out to be more, and she's actually there in the coat closet. And so Catherine go back there with her in the coat closet. So while Eddie's on the phone trying to get Anna back, he rolls through and sees Catherine and Greta together in the coat closet. And he's like, they lie too much to be friends on this show. Like y'all do it. Y'all all lying to each other. Okay, so there is that. So okay, so now that comes to the part where I told you that Cam had a nice video for Maggie. So he shows this nice video and everything, and everybody's like, "Oh!" Now Gary's had enough. He's like, "I can't." Sophie's mad at me. It's awkward with her, and then here comes I have to see Cam and Maggie together, and that's awkward. And I'm about to go home. And so he tells Rome, I'm about to leave. And Rome is like, okay, you want me to ride with you? And he was like, nah, I'm good or whatever. I'll talk to you later. And so Gary gets on the elevator, and the elevator is about to close and everything. And Gary stops it. Excuse me. Maggie actually stops the elevator, and she kisses him because she lets him know, I'm going after my future, her life. What did they say? I'm going after my life. I'm I'm going to start living my life. And she kisses Gary, and then Cam walks up and he's like, there you are two are. Now they looking all kinds of guilty. Like, what? Y'all not gonna even try to hide. Like, what were y'all thinking? But anyways, oh, and also Regina and oh, I can't think of her name, but the woman who's Regina's partner are actually going to start their own like catering business or something, because one of Cam's friends is like, hey, I could use y'all to cater something, and her Regina's friend is just like, I barely pay my rent this month, so they're working out. Yeah, the episode was good. It was a solid episode. Gary and Maggie, we've been seeing this coming. I don't like that they got like, it's not like Cam's not a bad guy. Like the last time that guy was a liar. The last time she was in a relationship and kind of, he was a liar. But Cam, there's nothing really bad about him. There's nothing that you could dislike. He's really sweet towards her. He's good with her friends. He has that quirky sense of humor that, that flows with Maggie. He doesn't know everything, but she's not telling him everything. And she didn't go through all this stuff with him that she did with Gary. I don't know. I don't know. It's like Gary and Maggie can never get it together when they want each other. When they're like, because when he was with Darcy, she wanted him back, but he was with Darcy. Now she's with Cam and he kind of wants her back. But I do say Gary didn't push up on her like she did when he was with Darcy. So I don't know. I don't know, y'all, but I thought Cam was gonna propose. I was like, all these surprises, he about to drop down on the knee, but he didn't. Oh, and what's the little girl Sophie played? Her band played at the Maggie's party. I don't know, y'all. It was a good episode. I don't know about Rome though. It's like, I hope they don't use this to push him towards the affair. Because for a minute there, I was like, oh, if Rome has an affair, I'm going to have to miss a few episodes because I'm not going to like that until that's all, gone away. So I hope they keep it where it's just, he gets the help he needs and the medication levels out and everything. And, it's not going there. But that was a million little things, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.